We're here.
We having fun, you all.
Yes, we are. Yes,
We've been through a lot in life, but yet we still have fun. We don't make our we don't make our misfortune in life captivate us in a place where we just walk around miserable, and walk around like a time bomb, and you can't experience no joy, no peace, nothing. And as I was saying earlier, sometime that I can't imagine why folks walk around looking sad and miserable, even though you're being through abuse to the point of death. But the point is you're still alive. Hello, somebody.
Amen. Amen. It's the hurt that keeps them hurting. Hurt people hurt people. And until you're healed, you are hurt. I don't care how you mask it. I don't care how many times you laugh, how many trips you take, how many purses you buy, how many cars you get. I don't care how many brand new shoes you get. Until you find the healing that is required for the hurt that you have experienced, until you find the antidote, you are going to continue to be poisonous. You're poisonous to your people. I heard another preacher. I'm so sorry. I'm a preacher. I can't help myself. He said, bleeding while leading. That was the title of his message. And he talked about how so many leaders are hurt and unhealed because nobody cares about what the leader is going through. They only want you to fix what they're dealing with. They want you to fix their problem. Pastor, I'm mad and I need to talk to you. I'm mad too. So we about to be mad together. We both gonna be mad in the same room. Matching energy is not going to help. It doesn't help heal. Somebody has to say, I'm going to be there for you. I'm here to listen. I'm here to talk if you need me. We've got to develop better communication in the community, because people live their lives hurting without help or healing, and then they bleed all over the people that they love and they come in contact with.
Contaminate others.
Contaminated
That's the
surface.
word. Contaminate. And that's why I said, you can be your own weapon.
Worst enemy.
Your own weapon of destruction.
Your
own weapon of destruction. Anyway, we got these lovely, beautiful ladies.
They on the panel, y'all.
And the panel, we
couldn't find no unattractive folk. We tried to find some ugly people to put up here.
We have Lady Williams. We have Lady Petal.
Lady Petal. Petal.
Petal. Lady Petal. Amen. That's such a beautiful name.
Hi.
Petal.
Peter.
And we have Dr. Baker.
Nurse Police Dr. Baker calling Nurse Police Dr. Baker.
And we have First Lady Brian. So we're going to hear from the panel.
Mental health helper.
And what they have to say on the issue of abuse. Because I know you all have been, at some point in your life, experienced some kind of abuse. Don't know to what level you have been experienced abuse, but I know as a woman coming up in life, at some point in time, you all have to have your own experience in abuse, in pain, and the dissatisfaction of life and all this kind of stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from Lady Williams.
Camillia! Clap your hands. Sister Camillia Williams is here. Camillia Williams.
Yeah. So there's a quote that Les Brown said that says, you can't read the label when you're locked inside of the box. Yes. So when it comes down to abuse, what I have found in my own life in dealing with hundreds of women that have gone through abuse, a lot of people don't even know that they're in an abusive situation until it's too late. And I think that you really can't talk about the issue of abuse without addressing mental health and drug abuse as well. Okay, and we're seeing that in our communities. And unfortunately, this is not the first case that we've heard where there have been parents that were abusive toward their children where it ended in a fatal way. Several years ago, this happened before, and there were a couple of kids in the King's home that were killed by their mother and put in the freezer as well. And it was put on my heart at that time to start and create a space for women, a safe space where they can come in and yell and holler and scream and talk and share those thoughts that they would be judged for in any other space, and with the purpose of preventing something like this from happening again. In 2017, I created the Exclusive Mom Society, and we're over 400 moms strong.
Wow.
So this is something that is really dear to my heart because I've witnessed abuse as well. But again, I really do believe that you've got to talk about mental health because, yes, doctors can prescribe the wrong drugs. Yes, people should take accountability, but I think it takes the community and people around that will see something and say something because, again, some people don't know that they are mental because of generational curses and because, well, my mama did this and my grandma did that and her mama did this. So it's normal.
It's kind of normal.
It takes somebody on the outside that can say, sis, don't hit your kid that hard like that.
That's not normal.
You just hit your kid sis, don't, you know what I mean? Or it's a different way you can do that. But in the society that we live in right now, people are really afraid to speak up because those situations have ended in a fatal way too. So different spaces need to be created where people can come in and say, today wasn't a good day. I almost threw something at my kid. That's the reality.
Well. You see. This what. Let's talk. Come on, everybody. Let's talk.
Let's talk.
Let's talk is about.
I would like for Sister Camillia to elaborate a little bit on that mothers group that you just talked about because I think that is one of the most underappreciated jobs in this entire world is motherhood. Because there are a number of homes and families where the father is absent or where the father is there for a short time and then he takes off, and mothers are left to pick up the pieces. They're left to deal with the children. They're left to deal with them getting dressed, and they make sure that they're fed, to make sure they go to bed, make sure that they get up, make sure they're educated. And all of this takes place while they have to find some way to have a life of their own and to find some small bit of time where they can relax and release so that they can keep going. And I think that is important that we let our listening audience know that there is, what is the name of that group again?
So the group is called the Exclusive Mom Society.
Exclusive Moms Society.
Yeah.
Exclusive Moms Society. Okay.
Yeah, back when I was given a vision for it, I actually, because the acronym is EMS, because I saw it as an emergency, something that needed to happen right away because it was my first time ever hearing about a mother going to that extent. And I wondered the same thing you guys are, where was the community at? You know, where was the school? How did no one know the kids were missing for 2 years? And again, I just feel like mothers do need to have a space where they can speak without judgment. So I'm happy to say that, like I say, we're over 400 mothers strong, and there are days that we go into the group and there are people that are sharing things that will make your hair stand up, right? Because that's what happens in parenting. It's not always, you're not always feeling the best about your children. And some people, like I mentioned, mental health. Some people just cannot take the pressure because they should be on some sort of medication or they should be seeking counseling and stuff like that. So again, the neighbors, people that are around, when they see something happening, you can be in a grocery store and you can see a parent going too far. Most people will just walk right past it because, again, the fear of something happening to them. So this space is something that's very important. We offer prayer. Like I say, we do get meetups every single year. We do Mommies at the Meal. So in the fall, I'll basically have something where I'll gift all of the mothers. I try to have activities and things for them where they can bring their children, because a lot of mothers can't really get out, do different things because of their children. So, yeah.
One more time the name.
So, yes, Exclusive Mom Society.
Exclusive Moms Society.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram. But, yeah, that's the thing. It's about making sure that mothers have So I feel like if our slogan is, if you heal the mother, you heal the child. The child does not have a choice what household they live in. The child does not choose the mother's boyfriend. The child does not choose. The child doesn't know if food is going to be in the refrigerator, but it's up to the mother. But again, unless the mother has that sisterhood or that person that can say, hey, that was a little bit too far. Like next time, let's try to scale it back. Or what can we do? What resources do you need? Mothers have found housing. They've gotten hooked up with different programs. They've gotten supplies, things that they needed for their children in the group, because all of the mothers work together to help one another. And it's just stuff like this that needs to be created. And then people need to be invited to it as well. Because most people that are in abuse, they won't just come into something because it's something that they need help with. Again, because a lot of them don't know that they're in an abusive situation. It's going to take somebody else to say, hey, I know about something. Why don't you?
And some of them don't come because they don't want to be identified with that group of the abused. They don't want it known. They want to keep it a secret. And I'll say this, the Moorish Science Temple of America, they believe that if you heal the woman, you heal the nation, because the mother is the first teacher of the child. So if we can help these mothers heal, we'll begin to see better children being brought out and being brought up, because now the antidote, the medicine is at home and not at the wrong doctor's office. You understand what I'm saying? But if they don't get to the right doctor from the beginning, like Sister Camillia is saying here, there are communities like the Exclusive Mothers Society, Exclusive Mom Society that will give you access to resources, free space that you can dialogue, so that we can begin to heal the mothers, so that we can begin to heal the nation. Thank you so much for that, Sister Camille. That was really,
all right.
really
we're going to take a break again. Let's talk. We are back. Let's talk. We are on the subject of abuse, and the things that a lot of people are going through today, that they refuse to talk about it. And like I said, if you don't talk about stuff, you can't get healing. One of the best antidote to for your problem that you're facing from day to day, you have to find the right person to talk about it. You can't talk to everybody about your situation. No matter how you love the person, no matter how they think the person is close to you. Today with society, we call everybody our friend. But in reality, everybody's not your friend.
No, sir.
And you can't talk to everybody about everything. That's right. You have to find the right, just like we said earlier, you can't go to every doctor for every problem you have.
That's right.
That's why doctors, they practice different things. Some doctors specialize in just brain specialists. Some are just art surgeon. Some are foot specialists. Some people study psychology and all different kind of stuff. So you cannot, same thing with law. You can't go to every lawyer for the same thing. That's right. And that's a problem we have. People go to, and even in the church, even though you're a leader, pastor, the pastor don't know everything, and the pastor can't solve every problem. That's why you need all the gifts that's supposed to operate in the church.
That's right. All of them. All the gifts.
And in your life, you need different people for different things in your life.
That's right.
And a lot of abuse is a wide umbrella. Abuse is not just you hitting your child upside your head. That's what America wants to make it look like.
That's right.
And so they take away that rights from the parents from counseling and schooling their child. Discipline. And that's a big problem, disciplining your child, because they call it abuse.
That's right.
But then how it is abuse for parents to discipline their child, but it's not abuse for a police to shoot your child.
Or bust you upside with a
Or
knife
to go into school and take the child 8 years old, 9 years old, and put him in cuffs and put him in a squad car.
I saw that.
But they call you scolding your child and disciplining your child abuse. Rubbish. And people sit back and fall for that. And that's rubbish, and nobody speak up about that. If I can discipline my child and scold my child to do what is right when they go out in the eyes of the public, but yet it's okay for a cop to cuff my child and put him in the back of a car because they won't behave themselves, because they get no discipline from home. Where I grew up in, they said, train the child to dance at home, and when the child go there, they know how to dance.
My mother said, by the time the police get here, you're going to need an ambulance.
No, but it's the truth. Abuse is a wide umbrella.
That's right. Yes. Discipline. My mother
Abuse have to also do with a father who donate the sperms and leave the mother with the child and gone, and now that mother have to find. See, we ain't talking. Listen,
that's abuse.
We
that's
ain't talking
abuse
yet. We ain't even
ain't
talking about abuse yet.
Yeah.
Abuse is a wide umbrella beside you just hitting somebody or verbally.
Some of the psychological abuse that can be implemented has greater power than any physical abuse you'll ever encounter. Because if I punch you in your eye and it swells up and it turns black, eventually it'll heal. But I'll give you an example. My brother, as we were growing up, I used to call him fat all the time. I didn't know until we were in our 40s that he actually had to seek counseling about me calling him fat all those years, because
and that's an abuse.
The verbal abuse lasted 40 years. We had fights and scrapes and scratches, and we had scars and bruises, but they healed. But the mental abuse that he had to endure took him 40 plus years before he got help. And I didn't even know until he told me, and I couldn't apologize enough, because as a child, I had no idea how hurtful it was, but my grandparents raised me, and my grandmother, she said whatever she wanted to say. She would call you stupid, dumb. She would swing. You know, my grandfather believed in discipline. He believed in the way of God. But my grandmother was a shepherd for the devil. I mean, on some days, not really. But she had a different way of discipline, and it was through intimidation. It was she would put you down. You know, she would try to make you feel bad. You know, insults. That is abuse that will last, and you won't even see the scars that it creates.
And that's the truth. All right, we're gonna move on with the panel. We're gonna hear from Sister Petal.
Sister Petal.
Well, I have a different perspective on the abuse because I'm a mother. I have 3 teenagers. I've seen, I've had to deal with one of my daughter being abused as well. And like you say, it's a different form of abuse. And for me, I personally grew up in an abusive home, and I had to endure abuse as a child. So for me, I had to learn how to get out of the state of poverty that I grew up in, and get out of that abusive situation. So therefore, I turned to the Lord when I was only 15 years old. And I learned that I had to always make, like my mom always used to say, there's a good angel and a bad angel. And always choose the good angel, no matter what the consequences are. You choose the good angel, because the good angel is going to take you out. So for me, it was always about the freedom of choice and making the right choices for my life. Mm-hmm. So I chose to be a Christian when my siblings, not so much my siblings, but my cousins, because I was more a cousin type than with my own siblings.
Make sure you're talking in the mic so that
yeah.
you can get. There you go.
So my cousins, we would go out and party and take drugs and stuff. I chose to read my Bible. And I got deliverance and I got healing from reading the Bible. And that was my way. I didn't get any counseling or anything like that. I got my deliverance by having a relationship with God.
You got
and
the right
talking
antidote.
to him. And him being my friend. So for me, I don't really, like you said earlier, have much friends. My friend is God.
Oh, yeah.
And I talk to him through everything. I have raised 4 kids. My last is about to be 17, 20 years in this country, and I have done it majority of the time on my own as a single mom.
Wow.
Right? So we've been through a lot, but the key is always to trust in the Father and to talk to him. And freedom of choice. Remember, you always have the choice to make whether you choose to do something bad or good. And if you choose to do the good thing, you will get the freedom out of it. And I came from a home where abuse was something that all of us endured, including my mother. And it wasn't about my mom. My situation with my mom was poverty, but my mom came from money. She came from one of the wealthiest families in my country. She lived a nice life as a kid, but she was also abused as a kid, you know? And so then she came and had kids, and then all of her kids got abused, right? And I wasn't the typical kid that grew up with, you know, mother and father in the house. My dad was homeless my whole life. He was an artist in my country, and he got into alcohol, and he ended up homeless. So he was homeless for my whole life. I didn't have a father. My mom got me stepdad and stuff, and that was great. He was an alcoholic too.
My God.
So I endured as a kid, but I left home when I was only 17. I have never lived home. I've been on my own taking care of myself at age 17 onwards.
Wow.
And I got married. My first marriage was at 20.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I had my children in my late 29 to 30s. And today I'm married, and I have, you know, 4 grown kids basically.
Amen.
Amazing.
And I'm victorious
Yes.
Wow.
because I did not allow the
Abuse.
things that I went through, and I have faced all type of abuse. And even after into my marriage and stuff like that, I faced abuse. But I endured, and I decided that I am victorious.
A warrior.
Yes.
So my present husband, no,
A warrior.
he ain't supposed to put his hands on me.
Be some smoke in the
all.
city. Be some smoke in the city.
He can't even play with me with his hands on me, you know? So, yeah.
So how do you say you got daughters?
I have 3 daughters.
How do you have you shared this information? Have you shared
Yeah,
your
my
growing
kids
up?
know everything about my past. I did not hide anything from them. I let them know what I went through. Unfortunately, I worked on breaking the curse. My daughter didn't have what happened to me happen to her, but she came to a very close situation where she feels traumatized by it. And that's my oldest daughter. But that's where it comes when you come out from under your mother's covering,
Right.
and you're disobedient.
Right.
You will find consequences, and then you have to deal with the
That's right.
consequences
That's
of your
right.
actions.
Especially when the enemy already knows what your generational issue
And it's
is.
trying to get in,
Trying
and
to-
you
that's right,
you
trying
you
to
know
get
what
in.
you're trying to protect them
That's right.
from.
That's right.
And but today I have to say I have 2 that have listened so far,
Good.
and one is 18, one is 17. One just graduated, and they're both virgins, and I'm hoping they can continue on until they find their husbands.
Wow, that is
And they have
amazing.
not been touched and stuff. And I wanted that for all of them, but unfortunately, you know,
They make choices.
my daughter chose to get into drugs and to do stuff that she's very gifted. She's a musician. She sings. She's very, very good. So getting
The
into
most
that
gifted
lifestyle.
people have the most
She
travesties.
is the
most
best you can
comfort.
ever experience. My daughter, she's the nicest heart, beautiful kid, and she has a calling in her life that she doesn't know yet.
Wow.
So she has to, God has to deal with her. And then one day she'll come back home.
Oh yes. The
Yeah.
most gifted people have the most difficult experience
Yeah.
because the enemy knows that if he allows you to come into your power, that he'll never be able to enter into that family again.
Right.
I'm so glad to hear that you are able to share that there is life, there is success, there is marriage, there is healthy relationships after you've experienced.
Can I
what
tell
have.
you, I have seen what it can do for people who have gone through what I've gone through. Like I said, I have siblings who've been through it. And if you hold on and you blame mommy, and you blame this one and you blame that one, you can't feel the victory. You can't live the
That's
victory.
right.
You
That's
can't-
right. That's right.
And you can't even build relationships with your own siblings
Because
or
of
with-
fear.
No, because you have isolated yourself in defeat. Because you're blaming others for what's happening when you have to see it for what it is. These are people who are hurting and they hurt us, basically.
That's right.
it.
That is
And
amazing.
I like that. I like that.
And so the only way you, as the victim, could not be the victim anymore is to get up and
Rise
say,
above that.
"Hey, I forgive you.
Rise above
That's
that.
a wonderful
I
statement.
forgive my
I forgive
person
you.
who disturbed my childhood. I was only like 12 years old.
My God.
And I forgive that person to the extent where when they wanted to visit America with their family, they stayed at my house.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not once, twice.
That is an
They
amazing
stayed at my
level
house.
of forgiveness.
I took care of them. I forgive my
Abuser.
person.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgive my person. I don't really
That's
speak to
power.
them. I don't
That
really
is.
speak to them anymore because I got revelation that they were still doing stuff like that, and I decided
Cut them loose.
I'm gonna love you from a distance.
That's right. That's right.
I'm gonna love you from a
That's
distance.
right.
And that's it.